Welcome to T-Boys TV. We are back again with another match preview. Obviously, we're taking on Blackpool away this weekend. At home. I wish it wasn't away. Actually, I'm glad it's not away because our away form is dreadful, really, really bad. And I know another team that don't have the greatest of away forms, but obviously, I'm here with Lee again. Good to have you on the channel. Thank you for coming on again.
Great to be back, I've got to say.
Other than the football, how are you?
Life's great, really good. Things are great. Through doing YouTube channel, I was already a videographer before, but I'm now working for a paddle tennis company and getting paid to make videos, which is better than YouTube, where we don't get paid to make videos. We just do it as a hobby, don't we? Unless we're thugged in, of course. And life is great. 2 million subscribers or something, but no, it's life's good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I enjoy making videos. I don't enjoy making Blackpool videos, but I enjoy making videos. Oh God, I don't know what they're like at your place, but Tuesday night we had the Fun Police. It's actually on my thumbnail. The Fun Police are back. I've done like a no filming thing. I'm sat there and we just film ourselves, so
Your reactions,
we just talk to the camera. So I've got the Osmo Pocket 3, which I actually love. I got it for my birthday, and it's just great, and it just obviously it stands up, but you can have it pointing at you or pointing away, so it's just pointing at us. I can see this steward coming up the blooming the side thing, and I can see him coming down the line. I'm thinking, he's coming to me, this guy. You know what I mean? I can see he's definitely coming for me. And I made a mistake, really. I should have just turned everything on and then just got him to sit down next to me. I said to Bestie and Pickle after, I should just got him to sit down with me and, come on, tell me what you want to tell me, but tell all these, these thousands of people are going to be watching this, and you can see you're going to be on this camera. So you come over and tell me what you want to tell me. But anyway, I kicked off about it in the video because it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? There's nothing they can do about you filming yourself. You know what I mean? You can't film match footage. Get that? I don't understand it. As a thing, I don't understand why a few clips in a video, it does nothing. Pickle has his opinion on it as well. He says, just, basically the worst thing he can possibly do is, maybe encourage a few people to go and watch the match. It's silly not taking money out of the club's hands, and it's, you're not filming the whole match. I said to the guy, we're playing awful. We're absolutely terrible. I said to him, are you having a laugh? Do you think I'm actually filming this garbage? I'm watching. It's absolute rubbish. They're going to be sat here filming this. God, we're losing 2-0. We're playing absolutely awful. Like, why would anybody in the right mind want to film this crap? You know what I mean? And that's evening, Paul Dexter. How are you? So that was one thing. You wanted to know about how we went on Tuesday. Well, I was talking to you just before we came on. I think we've picked up 4 more injuries from that game. We haven't got any. We've had that many injuries. I think, honestly, I don't know who they're going to be playing soon. So God knows who's coming. You've got Honeyman's injured. Our new lad, Randall, we just got on loan from Bolton, who looked really good. Another hamstring. The big defender that we pulled in from Millwall, he got injured, and we don't know yet, but it looked a bit like Ennis was hobbling off, and we've been waiting since October for him to come back. He's our main striker. He's amazing, and he hasn't played for us since October basically, and he was on for literally 10 minutes, and he's got injured again. So the injuries are not good. So I don't know what team's going to come and play here, if I'm being honest. We're down to bare bones. People playing in wrong positions. You know what it's like. It's absolute tosh.
Oh yeah, I certainly know about that. I mean, our game on Tuesday, we played Huddersfield, and going into it, I thought we'd lose anyway, just due to our away form. But like even then, when the lineup come out originally, we thought, one of our strikers who hasn't really played up front for us, he's played more out wide, but he's really good out wide. We thought he would be up front. We got him on loan from West Ham, and no, we put our creative midfielder up front in a false 9, and it was just like, what are we doing? And then there's so many times throughout, whatever manager we've had, whether it's Wilshere, Bloomfield, we've always tried to shoehorn centre backs into right back, and we're still doing it now. And we're not linked with any any right backs. It's just worrying times.
Why?
I've said it since August. Even when we played yourselves in a reverse fixture, we had a centre back who looks like he's reuniting with Matt Bloomfield at Oxford. We had him at right back.
Well, this is the thing. We were playing this, this lad we've got on loan. He's a centre half, and he's massive. You know what I mean? And he's playing right back because Imre went back to to Crystal Palace, and he was literally we had him on loan for the season, but they recalled him. He's now gone to West Brom. It's just taking the piss, basically. You know what I mean? Why they recalled him, and we really needed him. So we've no right back. He's gone back, and now we haven't got him either. So I don't really know how. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to go on. It's very worrying. I can see us going down at this rate, unless we've got some kids that just step up to the mark. Sometimes this maybe, we have got a few. Well, we sent our best. We have this lad who's a really good centre half who they just sent out on loan. He's in the development squad. He would be worth putting in, wouldn't he? Rather than shoehorning. Well, maybe we've got a right back. I don't know. We're just down to the bare bones, and it's not looking good. And we're way below you. If you think you're doing bad, we're like 7 points behind you now, aren't we? You're in 9th, aren't you? You're 9th or something like that.
I think we're 9th or 10th. Let me just double check. This table, it's very.
I mean, it must. It will be disappointing for you. I get that because you've been in the. You got yourself in the Premier League, and then you got relegated into the Championship, obviously, because that's just how it is. And then you've got relegated again into League One. So you'll be, I suppose for you guys, you'll be expecting to just bounce back straight away. So anything that's not, the fact that you're not in the playoffs at least must be like just so annoying for you, because you would be. But we're the same. We came down, a couple of seasons, obviously, before you back into Championship, and we thought we'd bounce back, but we haven't. We've just struggled, and we're progressively getting worse. I don't know what's happening to you, but we are going worse and worse and worse. We're not getting better, we're getting worse. It's just a worry.
Yeah, it's quite similar for us. And again, this is why the game on Tuesday, for a lot of us Luton fans now, it's very mixed. Like, some people are expecting the bounce back because we are good at home. We have improved at home, and obviously seeing your away form, for example, that does give us a bit of confidence. But then I think even if we do get a result in this game for us, because how big that game was on Tuesday, and now Huddersfield are 6 points in front of us, and they're looking at like the closest team in terms of below them is Stevenage now that they're looking at. It's not really us. It's one of them games, and I said it even way before the game. I think I said it a few games before. It's a season-defining game, that game, because whoever wins that has, you could look back at the end of the season and go, that was a massive, win that put us in that position. And
yeah, you've been level with them, wouldn't you?
I mean, we could have got a draw out of that game the other day, and ideally we needed to win, but a draw wouldn't have been the worst result, because it was one of them situations where it would have given us more confidence going into this game. And again, going to obviously your away form, we have kicked on at home. We are looking better at home, but this is the worries we have with us in terms of not getting the playoffs. We're so inconsistent away from home. And we had loads of chances the other day. There was games so we had Plymouth away on the Saturday. We lost that as well. And then we had Exeter. But the Exeter game, that was on New Year's Day. We didn't even have a shot on target. And, we had loads of chances the other day, and we just couldn't take them. And ultimately, it doesn't matter if we have chances or not away from home. We just can't take them. So I am happy this game's not away. And even when we played in the reverse fixture, I mean, when you guys were 2-0 up, I was thinking we're going to be lucky to even get something, and somehow we did. But it was the subs.
So that day we were kind of cruising, weren't we, and blew it. But it's been it has been so far a really frustrating season, and you'll know kind of as much as me that when you're doing YouTube videos and all that, it's bad enough just going as a fan. Just actually putting up with it and losing it gets you down. But when you can't make a video about it as well, it's horrible. It's just horrible. I just, it's kind of, I need them to win so desperately. I need them to get back in the Championship so desperately. And I just can't see it at all. And Paul Dex has put 3-0 to Luton. He's sorry about that. Don't be sorry. I think that's generous, to be honest. It could have been 5-1, literally. I mean, Stockport just honestly, it was like, do you know when you like, you know, it's an FA Cup game and you draw, you know, Arsenal or something, you know what I mean? And they're just like, you know, you've just got to hold your hand up, haven't you? When you watch them, they just batter you, and you're not even in the game or anything. You just think, well, you know, what can I say? They're just great, aren't they? Well, they looked definitely like a team from a higher division, and they just looked. I mean, in the end, we just sat there just enjoying watching them play. And that's not something I do very often, honestly, because I've said it loads of times. I just see Blackpool, you know what I mean? I only see Blackpool. I see us attacking. I see us defending. We're either attacking good or, you know, not attacking well, or we're defending well, or we're dominating the midfield. I just see us, and the other team are just green or blue or whatever. I don't notice any of them really. I'm just focusing on what we're doing. And honestly, I just couldn't be bothered watching us anymore. I just watched them because they were just honestly, they were so good. I'm thinking, God, I just wish I was a Stockport fan tonight. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what it must be like. I mean, Blackpool, in all the time since I've been a little kid, have never won a league, right? We've never ever won a league. We've gone up in the playoffs and we're like the greatest playoff team ever, but Blackpool always come from like nowhere. Do you know what I mean? That's why we always win them, because nobody even sees us coming. We just all of a sudden Blackpool in the playoffs, we rag in at the end of summer, and then we're like, right in form, we're going to win the playoffs. But you never get that. You never get that feeling through the season that you're top of the league. We're never top of the league. We're always coming from somewhere, deep as dark as Peru on the way up. So you never. I don't know. I think it happened once in my life, but it's so long ago. I was about 13, when we actually got promoted at Darlington. We came second, but like, I just never get that joy of actually, singing we're top of the league. I can't, honestly, I can't imagine it. I can't. It's like beyond my human comprehension to think what it must be like to be actually top of the league. Sometime, other than like maybe if we open the season with 2 wins and we're actually like, I don't know, alphabetically top of the league or something, because our name begins with B. But apart from that, it's just, honestly, it's utter. Every year you dream, and every year it's just a hard slog, and it's not enjoyable. I'm not enjoying it at the moment. I don't know if you're enjoying Luton, but I'm certainly not. It's not my favorite thing. I'm paying all this money out to go, and I think I am not being entertained. You know what I mean? If you buy a cinema ticket, you go, don't you? Come out. What a great film. Wow. You go and see a theatre show. Wow. What a great show that was. I pay all this money to go Blackpool. I'm just miserable all the time. I just sit there. I'm becoming like a grumpy old man. I'm sat there festering all game. It's terrible. Anyway, good evening, Phil. Hope you're well.
Yeah,
you will win on Saturday. You'll all be feeling great on Saturday. We will not win. Trust me.
Well, this is the thing.
Not a prayer.
Like I say, for us, it goes to that game on Tuesday. I mean, we could definitely, for me, we could win this game. Like you say, you're away from, and obviously the injuries as well. Is hefty. But even like, for example, and this is the annoying thing for us, right? Obviously, you mentioned Stockport. They look very good. I mean, when we played them, we did have a bit of a benefit because they had Norwood out for the game, and a few other players got injured, I think, during the warm-ups for them, maybe.
Yeah, he's really good, that Norwood.
And we ended up winning 3-0, and that was our last away win. And, the first, I think it was the first 15, 20 minutes, they should have really scored. But in the end, we weathered the storm and we just took our chances. And ultimately, that was the last time we won away. Wow. And yeah, I mean, that at the time, we're thinking, okay, this could be a bit of a turning point due to our away form before that. The team it's against as well, team
hope you got
competing with. And then from there on in, it's
been rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah, and again,
well, it's two bad teams. I'm just hoping it's one of those games where when you a little bit like when you've drawn a non-league team, you think we're going to batter them, and then all of a sudden you think, how do we lose to them? So that's the only thing I can hope. You were asking me what I think of Ian Evatt. I know you wanted me to answer that. it's funny really, because he wasn't the most popular choice, although he was, you know, one of the favourites, and he is like part of the dream team that was, you know, that got us into the Premier League and part of the Holloway years, and he loves Blackpool. It's like his favourite memory as a player, so he was like absolutely buzzing to come back. He'd always done kind of okay with Bolton, hasn't he? He's kind of been in the playoffs all the time. He's always been up near the top. He come and Steve Bruce just basically, he just didn't seem interested anymore. He wasn't even coming to training sessions or anything. He was just, I don't know, he'd lost his little grandson and stuff, and I think it just lost his mojo for everything. And when Ian Evatt came in, he was, you know, God, you know, he was taking training and, you know, really getting them into it. And Blackpool notoriously never win at Christmas. It's like I dread Christmas as a Blackpool fan. But this year we actually won 3 games over Christmas. You know, we won 3 games in a row. We actually won the game on Boxing Day, which we hadn't won since like 2002 or something. And it was just incredible. And then we went to Port Vale on New Year's Day. I wasn't going to go, but I got so excited about the fact we won 3 games on a bounce. So against my better judgment, I thought, I'm going. I went all on my own. I was going to take one of my boys with me, but he was working at McDonald's or something, so he couldn't go. So I went on my own. I thought, I'm going. We're going to win. I'm feeling great. Everything was great. I was skipping to the game, thinking, so happy. There's a little squirrel on this little park. I thought, what a little squirrel there. So I was so happy. Get to the ground. I said to the steward, you know, where do we go for away fans? He said to me, 3 points that way. They hadn't won a game for like forever. They're like bottom of the league. He just went, yeah, mate, 3 points that way. I said, to me, sure. I said, because it doesn't always run that way with Blackpool, you know what I mean? So anyway, the big news before the game was there's this Preston referee. He is born in Preston. Everybody knows he's a Preston fan, but they claim he's a Blackburn Rovers fan. And he refereed us, and he sent Jordan Rhodes off. And Jordan Rhodes did nothing but actually jump in the air. He didn't do there was absolutely no contact, nothing. He just literally jumped for a ball, and he sent him off, red card. Nobody could believe it. It was just like the whole stadium, you know, like just like silence. And he'd never been sent off in his career ever, Jordan Rhodes. Never. This was his first sending off in his whole career. Anyway, we appealed it, and of course it was overturned. But we get him again. And he sends James Husband off. Just, you know, we're winning 1-0. There's like a 50-50 ball. The striker's going for it. Husband's going for it. Husband just gets his heel to it, and it ends up in between his legs. Sends him off. So, I mean, nobody could believe it. But from then, in the second half, this was just right on half time. So second half, we lost 5-1 to Port Vale. You know, I mean, 10 men. I mean, I'm sure your dad's always said the same thing. 10 men are hard to beat, aren't they? 10 men are freaking hard to beat. They're like,
we couldn't beat 10 men the other day.
It's so hard, isn't it? I mean, they just fight for everything, don't they? They just make 2 banks of 4 with somebody up front, don't they? You can't get through them. You can't get past them. They're just resilient. It's, you know, everybody's going, you know, everybody's so infuriated that you can't beat them. We just shit 5. You know, I mean, 3 of them, the referee just ignored fouls and handballs. It didn't matter. And honestly, he gave us nothing. It shouldn't be allowed. Do you know, if you think, who's your rival team? Who is your rival?
Well, it's
what do you hate?
Watford, but right now we're competing with like Stevenage. They're on closest ones.
Yeah, but let's say, for instance, you're playing, I don't know, you're playing us, and you hate Watford, yeah? And the ref's from Watford, and he sends one of your players off. Would you'd be kicking off, surely, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How can a Watford referee, who is actually an Arsenal fan, say for instance, claims he's an Arsenal fan, but he's from Watford? You wouldn't be happy, would you? You know, Sunderland, you know, a guy from Sunderland claimed he was, I don't know, watched Gateshead or something like that, but it was a Sunderland. They won't allow him to referee Newcastle, would they? They'd be, honestly, they'd be going mental on Sky Sports. And I've had a look at the rules, and there isn't a rule. So there isn't a rule. You can have a Preston refereeing you, but they don't do it for the simple reason that it wouldn't be seen as like a fair thing. You know, we wouldn't be seen as being fair, and it's not quite fair on the referee either, because he's, you know, because instantaneously you're going to think he's biased, aren't you? Because he's bloody from Watford or he's from Preston. It was ridiculous, and we've not recovered from that. And we were just starting to get going, and it was just so. Oh God, it was. Well, you can tell I'm still seething about it now. But this referee should never be allowed to referee. And not only that, you saw James' husband like walk off the pitch, like just like in disbelief. Basically, he didn't. His body reaction was, there was nothing aggressive. He just like couldn't believe he was being sent off. Just walked off. But the referee has complained that he was abusive to him, so he got an extra match ban. But if you watch the video, you can, you know what I mean? I've watched it. He's like, what? You know, what? You know, you can see he's that, you know, that reaction. He can't believe that he's been sent off. And he walked off just like shaking his head. And, you know, and the referee's reported him for abusive behavior or something. So, yeah, so it's been bad. It's been bad. So that's all I can say, really. I like Everett. I like him. He actually came to see my dad in the hospice when my dad was, you know, literally, he was a few days away from dying. You know, it was just in the season after the Premier League. You probably know, you know, he died then, and Ian Everett and Phil Thompson came, and my dad was in his hospice bed, you know, and he was really not, you know, he was dying of cancer, and I'll tell you, he was like a stick, and he was not. It was hard to get any conversation out of him at all. You know, you were just kind of waiting for him. And they came in, you know, he didn't know we'd arranged this thing. The Gazette arranged it, something, because I can't remember exactly. Well, it was because we got invited to a game, and my dad was in the hospice and he was a guest, and I wrote something brilliant about what a fantastic thing it was. So the club got hold of it. They brought a shirt for him and everything. And the minute that Ian Everett walked in the room, my dad just like, from just lying there, he just went, "It's Ian Everett." And he was like, honestly, he was up. He was like telling him all about, you know, 953 and all his life. Honestly, you couldn't shut him up. Honestly, you could not shut my dad up. It was one of the most beautiful things. A kind of a beautiful end, you know, to everything, because I'd done it all my life with my dad. You know, he'd taken me, you know, as a little boy, I used to say, "God, you know, my dad made me a seaside as a ruin my life," you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, it was, in the end, it was a wonderful thing, because we did it. You know, we got all the way from the bottom to the Premier League together. You know what I mean? I actually saw Blackpool in the Premier League with Dad, and it, you know, there was lots of Blackpool fans were lost. We were out of, like, you know, the top divisions for like 40 years. So you imagine how many people lost their parents and they never got to see it. And so I was lucky in that way. And it's great memories, you know what I mean? I do miss him, Dad, terribly, but, you know, but I'm always thankful to Ian Everett for that. So when it was Ian Everett, I kind of just wish him well, you know. I want him to succeed really badly, because I like him, you know what I mean? Simple as that. So hopefully he can turn us around. I think he's about as good as we could get. I just think he's inherited a terrible team from Bruce. We were all so buzzing in the summer, and our players just don't. I don't know. They're just soft. Honestly, they're soft as. What can I say? Like, I want to say softish, but I'm not going to say. But they are. You know, they don't get stuck in. You know, they don't go in for tackles. I mean, if you watch the highlights and you see their second goal, it was like the parting of the seas with Moses. You know, he just picked the ball up on the halfway line, their player, from a goal kick, and just ran, and everybody just kind of moved away, and he just carried on running, and then he just slotted it from the edge of the box right in the far corner, unchallenged. And you sat there thinking, what on earth is this? You know, I've seen like Sebi, you know, my young team, you know, when he was 8 years old, playing better than that, you know, getting stuck in more than that. You know what I mean? It was just ridiculous. So I think he'll win. I'm not predicting a Blackpool win. I'm predicting a Blackpool loss. I think I can't see us winning. Honestly, injuries, the way we're playing, and we need a miracle. So I'd take a draw. I'd take a 0-0 right now. Oh, well, that's it. It was 1 point would be better than nothing. But anyway, that's it. That's all I've got to say. I've got to have my tea. Told you, Jane, 7 o'clock. I'm I'm under strict curfew for 7 o'clock. I can't ramble on forever, she said to me. So that's it. That's all the rambling I'm going to do. But just may the best team win.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries.
Right.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. And yeah, no, thank you very much. As for my score prediction, I'll do mine quickly before you jump off, and I'll probably stay on for a bit longer.
Yeah.
I do you know what? Right, you would like on paper you'd say we'd win because we're at home. You know, obviously you guys away and not so great. But I'm actually going to say a draw. You know, I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw, which was our last scoreline at home against Lincoln, and we should have won that, to be honest. But I can see it being similar. I mean, I don't know if you went to that game at Kenilworth Road. Do you remember when it was 1-1 when we had that controversial goal at the end that didn't count? I think it could be something like that, you know, possibly. And then it will just get even more toxic because I expect it from our end to be quite, especially if we don't start off well, it's going to be quite toxic. Because, you know, there's a lot of, well, what we feel, and I've said this for a while, I think there's accountability at the top that needs to be taken that hasn't been taken. You know, getting in, for example, the last two managers we've got, you know, lack of inexperience, you know, and ultimately that's what's also cost us as much as other things. I mean, the Premier League relegation, you expect that, but last year's that was probably, and even, you know, fans like my dad, for example, and people in the comments will say that was the worst one they've witnessed, and some of them have witnessed like 9 relegations, but that was the worst one. It was the most avoidable. So yeah, it's probably going to be pretty toxic, to be honest, on Saturday. So
that may play into our hands. I noticed somebody had said that, you know, if you know, when you're younger, Ben says, you know, about a referee being biased and all supporting a team. Well, they claim he's not a Preston North End fan. They claim he's a Blackburn Rovers fan, right? That's it. So that is exactly the same as him being a Watford referee, born in Watford, but being a Stevenage fan. Yeah, for us, it's the same thing. Blackburn Rovers, we hate them too. You know what I mean? We've only got 3 teams really, apart from Fleetwood, but in our little area, it's Blackpool, Burnley, Blackburn. Right? They're the Lancashire teams, and obviously they don't like us. We don't like them. We're not keen on Bolton, but they're more Manchester way, and Stockport and Manchester way. We don't. That's a local derby, but it's not like a Lancashire derby. So the Lancashire derbies are Preston, Blackburn, and Burnley. So claiming he's a Blackburn Rovers fan doesn't make any difference. You know what I mean? It's still as bad. They don't like us either. So yes, it has to be biased. You know what I mean? It had to be. Anyway, in answer to that. But yeah, no, I understand it's all a bit toxic down at Luton at the moment because just purely because you expect to not be there, don't you? I understand. You know, you've been in the Premier League, and you expect with all that money. I mean, you're going to get a new stadium soon, are you? Is it?
I think it's 2028, possibly.
2028, Jesus.
Yeah.
So long ago. It's taken, right. It's a big, has it started? Have they started?
So they've started doing stuff around it, but in terms of actually building it, not yet. But it's just, you know, making I think there's a Rivoli that they've had to sort out, and you know, things like that. And yeah, I mean, there's pretty much everyday pictures from a Luton fan, whoever that is, of, you know,
what's going on.
Progressing, yeah. And there's another Luton YouTuber. He also he has a drone, and sometimes he'll, you know, film what's going on around there.
Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? I suppose. I mean, you know, we came to Luton that first time back in the Championship. If anybody's not watched it, Luton fan, it's on the Football Tourist Guide channel, which is also my other channel. I've let it go for a bit because we just haven't got the time to go and do it, but I've maybe get back into it later, maybe do some non-league stuff, maybe. But we came to Luton, had a great time in Luton. I know that's going to surprise all you fans there, saying, "What? You had a good time?" Yeah, we had a great time in Luton. We went to the Bear Club, you know, the jazz place, brilliant. Or Kim Cypher and BD Lens there. It was an amazing night. There was a big massive parade going through with all these sunny Indians or whatever they were, celebrating something, giving everybody tea and stuff, all in tangerine or orange, or, you know, we're tangerine, you're orange. But yeah, it just looked it was an amazing time. It's a great video. We had a wonderful time, and stepping back into, you know, we loved the ground. You know, you get people moaning and groaning about it, but to us it was a little bit very similar to going back to the old Bloomfield Road. Couldn't quite understand why your floodlight was in front of like all the seats, which is honestly, I don't know how you cope with that.
That used to annoy me, where I used to sit in the corner.
You just got a bloody big floodlight right in front of you, which seemed a bit weird. But the only thing was, it was it wasn't so comfy to stand on, because you were kind of standing on the way they've done the seats. You end up like you're on a step in between the seats, so you're on half a step, and it's a bit, it's not comfy to if that makes sense, and it's too tight to sit down, like to sit down.
I know they've definitely worked on it since the Premier League.
It was bloody pain. It wasn't good, that, but apart from that, we loved it. We met the steward, when we got there, and he was like, "So come on, I'll show you around." He was so, "Come on," and I was like, "Yeah, come on, for the video, yeah, I'll tell you all about it." I was like, "Wow, how long you been here?" He says, like, 45 seasons, or he didn't say years, it was in seasons. I was like, "Oh, this is bloody, what a great guy," and it was just wonderful, dead friendly, lovely. We really enjoyed it. So I've got no problems with Luton. Just best of luck to you. I hope you get back up again. Or you certainly won't be going down this season, but you are going to have to kind of rebuild, and hopefully you will. I mean, you've had a great journey, haven't you? But fortunately, it's all gone a bit pear since you were a bit pear-shaped, hasn't it, since you were up? But anyway, wish you well.
Yeah, exactly.
Not on Saturday, obviously. I would love you to just, I don't know, everybody go out on a drunken, the whole team just go out, get absolutely bladdered or something, and can't play and all that sort of stuff, and just be ill on Saturday. Got a chance.
Well, it depends if we even have any players. I mean, I know we're coming up to the last stages of the transfer window, but we've had like 4 players rumoured to leave today.
Really?
Yeah, Yates being one of them on loan. He has been. I've got to be honest.
We'd have him back.
Yeah,
Jerry.
apparently he's actually going to be going, and it's pretty much done from what I'm hearing, to Sheffield Wednesday, which is interesting. But yeah, unfortunately, it hasn't really worked out for him. And I mean, we discussed it last time. It's the way we're trying to play, in terms of like
doesn't suit.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I will say, I was buzzing when we signed him. I thought for this level, he should be very good. Obviously, I always go back to what he done with you guys, the 14 goals, finishing, where was it, 23rd, and he got 14 goals.
Yeah.
In the league higher. But ultimately, when he has had the chances in terms of like actually having the shots one-on-one, he blew them. Like we played Northampton away on my birthday, it was, and he literally come on and 2 opportunities straight away, and he just couldn't, fit him in. And then you look at things like the other day, he wasn't even in the squad.
No. The thing with Jeremy Yates, and although we loved him, I mean, we absolutely loved him, and he's a real character, really good fun in the dressing room. He's dead funny. He's absolutely crackers. He's totally. He's just a crazy lunatic, which kind of fits Blackpool really well, because it is a crazy town. And he was, he would, if he didn't, if he had like went through a bad patch of not scoring, you could see he didn't cope well with it, and then he'd get a goal and he'd be all buzzing again. But even when he wasn't scoring, he was he's one of those players that never stops running around, and he's like 100%. You know what I mean? He gives everything, and that's we just love players like that. If we get a player that's proper giving it 100%, the whole game, never say die kind of thing, running from beginning to end, then we love those kind of players, and we forgive them all the faults, whatever, because we don't get many like that. They're all lazy twats playing for us at the moment. Some real lazy players, honestly, jogging around, and it's just, Stockport were just out, just actually running and passing, and we were just, honestly, God, nobody just. It's a real lazy team at the moment, and a team don't get stuck in. So I think even with the 4 players out, I still think you'd beat us anyway. And we shall. Well, I've got to get off, and all the best to you and to everyone in Luton, and I just hope it's a good game. It won't be, but I hope it is.
Yeah, I mean, the way we're both feeling going into it probably won't be, but then it'd be written to be good, wouldn't it? So, yeah, thank you again, Lee, for
all right,
coming to the channel. And hopefully, I'll see you next season, because I don't think we're going up. So, hopefully, I'll see you next season. We
need a miracle to stay up at the moment. We need to sign some players. We've got a few days left. We need something. God, we need to find somebody from somewhere who's, I don't know, he's been drunk in a bar or something. Somebody's finally found him, and he's not playing for anybody. We can just sign him or something. He's not, he's the next Pele or something. Right, I'm going.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
The best.
Thank you again for coming onto the channel. And yeah, like I say, hopefully you'll see you next season.
I'll never forgive you for nicking our colour, but never mind. See you later.
Take care.
See you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right, there we go. I'll probably stay on for a bit longer, guys. And just say a bit more of my thoughts on the game. Paul says, "Evening, lads. Good to see you in here, Paul. Hope you're well, mate." Obviously, he said 3-0 to us. He is joint second with loads of players. Loads of players are second. Let me just zoom this out a bit. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, he is up there. So, yeah, I mean, we got to watch out for him. It would be typical if he scored, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, please do smash the likes if you haven't already. After this stream, I'm going to hopefully do a collab sort of video with Lee, because I can't actually do it while I'm live. So hopefully his channel can see it and all that if it works. But no, my luck's probably got a process as well. So, yeah, we'd be all right if he's an Arsenal fan up the Wilshire. Yeah, true, we would. Do you think Luton and Blackpool will get some players in before the transfer deadline day? Yeah, and I might as well stay on here to talk about some of the stuff that's happened today regarding rumours. I think we will get a striker. Whether that's on loan or not, I'm not too sure, but I do expect us to get a striker. Obviously, Yates is set to be going to Sheffield Wednesday. It was obvious to me that we're probably going to loan him out when he wasn't in the squad against Huddersfield. Obviously, like I've said loads of times, he's been very disappointing this season. Obviously, we can't sell him because we've just got him. And then obviously Nakamba's been rumoured to go there. So, yeah, I'll definitely take that. I don't want these players. And not, again, like I've said loads of times, I think he does want to play, but we don't want to play him. So I just don't want him, just being around. It's just pointless. Obviously, Makoso, seems like there's talks with him and Oxford. Surprise, surprise. Matt Bloomfield. I've said it loads of times, my thoughts on Makoso. I don't think we should be getting rid of him, but it's one of them. I'm not sure if that's permanent or a loan, to be honest. I've just seen that they're opening talks. They also tried to get Sire Jones, but obviously he's injured, so they couldn't get him. And yeah, I'm glad we sort of declined that, because I'll be honest, guys, if he went, right, I'd have been pissed. And it's not even because I think he's good in this league when he's playing as a winger. It's the fact he's been injured. If we sold him, that would have just been, or whatever, loaned him, whatever. Well, it'd have been a sell with him, I reckon. It'd have been silly, absolutely silly, and I'd have been pissed off, because I'd take it like, if any player leaves us that's rumored to be injured, I don't care if they've just come back. That's taking a piss for me. So I'm glad that's not happening on that basis. And like I say, when we actually play him in his right position, which is a winger, not a right back, he does well. So yeah, I'm happy about that. But yeah, people, we've been linked with strikers, guys, and knowing us, we probably won't get any of the strikers we are linked with. But a lot of people like that. But knowing us, we'll probably get a striker, random striker. Well, not random, but it'll be out of nowhere, someone who we've not even been linked with, and we'll get him in. That's probably what we'll do. I'm not confident we'll get a right back, even though we need one. Especially if Makoso goes, because he is a player that we play at right back. Obviously, yes, he doesn't start week in, week out now, but even when he did, sometimes he moved to right back, didn't he? So surely that tells you, on top of that, we need a right back, even though he's not a right back. But like I say, we play him there. And yeah, obviously, centre back, will we get centre back? I don't think we will. I mean, I don't know. I think with bringing Palmer in, because he can play attacking as well as defensive. Obviously, he's better attacking, but I don't feel we'll get a midfielder. I feel we will get a striker. I just don't know if we'll get anything else, even though obviously we need to. But I just don't know if I have faith in them to do that. And even like when Wilshere's making comments, and he's not entirely wrong, but like when he's saying, oh, you know, 1 or 2 players isn't going to make a difference. I mean, I hear what he's saying because the club's just in the shambles all over. But at the same time, you know, that's worrying because it sounds like we're not actually going to get many players in, which we still need to do. I mean, we've obviously got till the 2nd, you know, which is obviously what, 4 days? 4 days, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4 days. So come on, man. Like, it's going to be one of them where we're just going to be loads of news is going to come out. It's going to be like the end of the summer window, where like there'll just be stuff constantly. So yeah, it's going to be one of them. So yeah, obviously I spoke on that. Yeah, hopefully we'll see Lee next season if they don't go down. Like I said, I don't think we're going up. So yeah, it's all on them really, to be honest. 2-1 Luton win, says Phil. Yeah, I mean, I have said 2-2, and that is my official prediction, like I've said. But if we did win, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-1. But like I've said, I even look at a win and I just think, is that like, do you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, yes, it's 3 points, but does it mean like there's still chance of playoffs? I just don't think there is, unless like Bradford can keep falling off, you know. But even then, scraping the barrel to get 6th, you know, a team that's gone down, that's not good enough, man. Like, let's be honest, that's just not good enough. I think we're going to be in a similar situation if we can get the right players in the summer. I think I ain't got full faith in that with this board, but if we can do that, we could do what Huddersfield have done in terms of not gone up this year, you know, when they're expected to go straight back up and then build. But then again, I don't have trust with this board, to be quite honest with you. They can't even get the right managers in, let alone the right fucking players, to be honest with you. So I ain't got faith in that. Ben's gone emphatic 4-1. Yeah, I think the only way we batter Blackpool, and I know they're awful away, like they're, you know, really bad, 21st. But I think the only way we batter them is if they just don't turn up. And obviously Lee said they've got 4 big injuries out. You know, players Honeyman as well. I think it's decent, man. I'd have took him at us, to be honest. You know, I think he's a player that puts in the shift. He's more defensive as well, you know, as a midfielder. We need someone like that if we're not going to play Saville. I mean, like I've said, guys, I mean, I know people ain't his biggest fan, but I don't like the way he's been thrown out of the team, to be honest. I mean, you know, I know people go, oh, yeah, but he ain't been great. Yeah, it's because he's told to do an attacking job. That's not his game. He's a CDM. You know, he's meant to be there to mop up and do them things there. So, yeah. Probably not, I'll be honest. I mean, I do expect our final day to be a bit hectic. So I'll probably do a video in the evening. I don't even know when it shuts. I mean, let's try have a look because it's probably midnight. I mean, I won't be doing that then, I'll be honest. You know, it tells me the date, but it don't tell me the time. Right, let me try and see if I can see it. Oh, apparently it's 7 p.m. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably Spain have an extra 4 hours, but we're not in Spain, so it don't matter. So yeah, I'll probably do a roundup video, to be honest. Like for example, if we're linked with someone in the day, I'll just do it all in one because it's going to be a hectic amount of videos last time. Or this time, sorry. Like it was last time. I think I've done 3 videos on the final day. I'll probably just do it all in one, to be quite honest here, and do like a roundup type video. With my thoughts on the signings and the outgoings and things like that, to be honest. So that's probably what I'll do. So yeah. Yep, 100%. I mean, let me know in the chat. Obviously, I've said we need a striker, and I think it's quite obvious we will get a striker now. Will they be good enough? I can't tell you that, but I expect us to now. With Brown obviously not being involved in the squads recently, Yates is obviously going out on loan. You know, that leaves us with Wells, Elijah, and El Hamadi. El Hamadi's obviously just come back. Wells, you can't rely on him, and Elijah's still out. You know, he's closer by the sounds of it, but he's still out. So I think we will get one, even if it's on loan. I've got no problem with that. No problem. I've said it for a while, anyway. Now I'd like one on loan, so I have no problem with that. But yeah, what other positions do you think we need? Striker and right back are the priorities for me. I just don't think we will get a right back though, which is crazy, you know. But I just know what we're like. But we'll definitely get a striker. I think it's obvious now. We will. So yeah. Yeah, no, I've discussed that. I've discussed my thoughts on that. Yep, same with that. I don't think many want to play for us, to be honest, mate. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right with that, mate, as well. I mean, there's obviously been, rumoured rejections over in the summer there was obviously what's the player from Barnsley, Phillips, that was it. I remember doing that. Apparently, he didn't want to come to us. He wanted to stay at Barnsley. Obviously, I don't think he rejected us, but Kelman, apparently we were in for him. Bang, went to Charlton. I mean, I can't blame him. Championship side. By the way, Charlton, man. Connor Cody, I mean, that's a good signing, man. I don't know if any of you guys see that. That's a good signing. They need sort of a leader at the back, and he certainly is that. So fair play to them for doing that. Obviously, there's a bit of pressure on Nathan Jones there, which I don't necessarily agree with, to be honest. I mean, you've got to be a bit realistic. You've just come back up. Your first time in a while. You'll comfortably survive for me, come the end of the season, but that's another thing. Obviously can't get them. I mean, possibly. But the thing is, this is my worry, right? And I said it in the video yesterday. He said they a lot, like referring to the recruitment team. Why is he not involved? He's the manager. He wants to play the style he wants to play, which we don't really agree with. But at the same time, he's the ones who, he is the one who's controlling the players on the pitch, or trying to at least. Of his style, his philosophy, etc. So why is he having to rely on them? Do you know what I mean? It should be 50-50, if anything. And again, I don't really rate the recruitment team, but they're there to recruit. So, both of them should have a say in that aspect, not just the recruitment team. That's crazy to me. That's what? What is that all about? I get he's new to managing, and this is actually his first official transfer window, but let him experience it. Do you know what I mean? See what's what. I mean, it's just a shambles, absolute shambles when I heard them comments the other day. And I think even when he's saying like the culture needs to be sorted out and all that, I think he's trying to indirectly go there as well. And I can't blame him. They ain't exactly got a good track record, have they? I think they've got a few decent players for us, but overall, I mean, you only have to look at the strikers. I mean, they've been poor. I mean, let's be honest, yeah. Wells disappointing. Yates disappointing. El Hamadi, all right, yeah, he ain't played loads, but it's been injury prone at this moment in time, and that's why other clubs didn't want him. He was injury prone, So until he proves me wrong and actually scores a goal and scores a few goals, what's to say he's going to, be a miracle essentially? Taking from our past 2 games, I think you meant to put talking. Don't see us scoring more than 1 goal against Blackpool. I mean, I have said 2 just based on the fact we're at home. We are better at home and they are quite poor away. But like I've said, even if we win that game, I've said 2-2. I don't even think we will win. But even if we do, I mean, what does that mean? I don't think it means much. I mean, the only way I could see it meaning something is if Bradford lose on the weekend, maybe. And the reason I say that is because we've got them next week, but they're at home against Doncaster. I know Doncaster got an emphatic win on Tuesday, but that's away. That's away now for Doncaster is what I'm trying to say. Bradford are back at home, so I'd expect them to win that at 12:30. And then we've got them next week. I mean, say for example, I don't think they will, but you never know because other teams around that position have actually beat Bradford this year. I think Burton maybe beat them at Bradford, if I remember rightly. I know Burton is slightly better, but in terms of like near that bottom position, if they lose, we win, bang, maybe we could just about. But even then, it depends what Stevenage do. And Wickham. Let's have a look at Stevenage. You've got Barnsley away. I mean, it's not an easy game, to be honest. But you never know what Barnsley are going to turn up. And you never know what Stevenage are going to turn up. It could be the Stevenage that slapped up Stockport away. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be. You never know, man. You never know. I don't know. I mean, even looking at their game after that, Stevenage, you've got Northampton. I mean, Northampton, for me, they're awful. So I think Stevenage will win that game. And that is the problem. That is the problem, right? Why have we only signed 2 loan players? I want to see proper ones. I mean, Palmer, I don't mind, to be honest. And And I think if Palmer does play well for us, I mean, for me, he's not looked the worst. I thought he was probably one of our better players the other day. Then I think we could actually get him. Whether we go up or not, I think we could actually get him. Unless he gets interest from Championship team, which I don't think he will. Like right now, I wouldn't say he does. Like if he kicks on, maybe. But either way, I think we could get him. As for Lawrence, I mean, it is a bit annoying because it's more beneficial to Man City, really. It's not really beneficial to us because Man City, loaned him out to get him minutes. And you can just see I've said it so far, every game catches up to him. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we need to get some permanent one, but that's the thing, guys. Even if we get striker, I think it's going to be on loan, which I don't mind personally. But I know there will be people that won't be happy because it's another loan. And, that saying goes, don't want to fall in love with loan players. But like I said, I think Palmer, right now, I'd say we've got a good chance of getting permanently. The others, well, it's only Lawrence in it. We ain't going to get him, obviously. And right now, I don't think there's much to warrant that I want him, to be quite honest here. Yeah, okay, he done well against Stevenage in the first half. He done well in the cup game against Swindon. But ultimately, I mean, he's still very raw. You can see it as the games grow on, like I say. So, yeah, I mean, let's see what's to come, really. But, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap the stream up now here, guys. So, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Obviously, I'll be back again with the Hat Show tomorrow. If any news comes out regarding, outgoings, incomings, etc. during the day tomorrow, which I expect some to probably come out in terms of the outgoings, at least, then I'll just wait till the Hat Show to obviously talk on it, me and my dad. And then obviously I will be at the Blackpool game on Saturday. So yeah, if you are going, do let me know. If you do want to jump on a fan cam, do let me know. We should have Mike on them again. We should have David on them. Obviously, I'll be doing one myself. And yeah, as for the vlog, like I've said, I'll upload that on Sunday, probably in the evening, to be honest. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. And yeah, do subscribe to Lee's channel if you're not already. He is not going to the game though, so don't expect a vlog from his side. He doesn't want to waste money with how poor they've been. And I can't blame him. I am the same with us away from home, to be honest. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. And yeah, we'll go through the last load of comments before we wrap up. Big up Ty says, Phil, big up to yourself, mate. And Ben says, great live, Tyler and Lee. See you tomorrow. Take care, buddy. Yep, see you tomorrow, mate. Like I said, obviously, there will not be a watch along on Saturday as I will be at the game. But one day, right, I'm going to say it now, because he probably won't watch it, and either way I say it anyway. I'll try and get my dad to do a watch along one day. I'll try and make it happen and get him to do it, because he was actually considering it the other day. I'm not even joking. Not the Tuesday game, the Plymouth game. He said something to me. I think it was off the live, or it might have even been on the watch on. But either way, we'll try and get him to do one day for the people that obviously can't always watch the games and go, etc. So there's still that content from that angle for you guys. But yeah, I can't guarantee that'll be anytime soon, to be honest. But like I say, the Blackpool game is, the only game I'm going to until Burton, which is some point in February. Let me just double check before I wrap up. 21st of February. So, yeah, I'm not going to any of the other games during that period. So, they should all be watch-alongs, really. So, yeah, big up to everyone. And do check out my video yesterday on the links on Beasley. I did also talk on Wilshire's comments after the Huddersfield game. So, do check that out as well. And yeah, like I say, I'll be back again tomorrow with another live stream, previewing the Blackpool game and talking on the Huddersfield game with player ratings with my dad. So do tune into that. Smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the Extra channel, do subscribe to Lee's channel as well. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. So until then, take care. Peace.